Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. Do financial and personal success go hand in hand with doing work that you love? While I can't cite research to prove it, there's plenty of anecdotal evidence that this might be true. After all, Warren Buffett says he tap dances to work every day. Recent posts from a colleague on one of my professional networks took this one step further. In addition to loving your work, he suggested the ideal career includes loving the people you work with and the clients you serve. Now, sadly, I don't know very many people who could say all three of these concepts are a part of their work. Many of them fell into their careers just by happenstance and receiving a great paycheck. Fear of starting all over again from the beginning, that really has kept a lot of people stuck. If you don't love your job, there are two choices that I see. One is to learn to love the one you're with. In other words, change yourself and the environment at your current workplace. The other would be to look for somebody to love by finding a company that offers a better fit. To find work and an environment that you love, you may want to look for a company with a culture of building careers rather than just providing jobs. Here's a few of the characteristics that come to my mind that might help you identify these companies. The first would be that they evaluate. The best practices of companies I see assess potential employees for both competency and personality. Competency evaluations are often specific to the skills needed to perform the job. Some firms also include IQ tests and personality evaluations. They can really go a long way to helping candidates and companies determine if a person's really a right fit for the career, the position, and the culture of the company. A few of the personality tests that I've used over the years are Strengths Finders, the DISC, that's D-I-S-C, the Kolbe Index, K-O-L-B-E, Emergenetics, Caliper, ProScan, the Enneagram, and the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. Now, all these evaluations have their specific niches and uses. In my opinion, none ought to be relied upon in isolation. All of them can be wrong, off-target, misinterpreted. Properly aggregated and interpreted evaluations like these, though, I'm thinking can eliminate 50% of the guesswork as to whether a candidate is potentially a good fit. My firm typically uses 4 to 6 of them, and we're trying to boil that down to 3. The second thing that best practices firms do is to interview. While there is no tried and true test to predetermine what a company's culture is a fit, many best practices companies use a tool that's proven itself to be incredibly effective, and that's a 2-day interview. That's not the norm, of course, but I have found besides job-specific sessions that this 2-day interview can also include social gatherings, one-on-one interviews with all the important people that they may be reporting to or working with, so that everybody gets a chance to see them, experience them, and the candidate gets a chance to experience the people that they're going to be potentially living with. I like to think of an interview really as a two-way street, where the candidate is interviewing the company just as seriously as the company is interviewing the candidate. Third thing is that a lot of your best practices companies make a team decisions. Companies that underscore and protect their culture don't leave the hiring decision up to one person. Several times in my career, after copious evaluations and interviews, A candidate I saw as a perfect fit was soundly rejected by my staff members. That in itself didn't mean that the applicants weren't outstanding. They were. It meant they weren't a fit for our unique culture. Finally, it is all about the culture. For every job, there are scores of people who can adequately execute its tasks and accountabilities. There are very few people, however, who fit the culture of the company. Of course, assessing whether a candidate and a company are a good fit, like I said, has to come from both sides. You probably can't tell a prospective employer, I'd like you to complete these 4 personality evaluations on me, but you can pay close attention to the company's culture as you interview. Finding a company that fits your values, your life purpose, and your personality takes determination, perseverance, time. I'm going to suggest some courage. In the long run, though, it's well worth the effort to build a career that means more than a paycheck. Just make sure there's room under your desk for your dancing shoes. Thanks for joining me.